Nigeria's presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi's visit to Toronto on August 28th and 29th to meet with Nigerians in Canada was a tremendous success. Hosted by the Peter Obi Nigerian Canadian Interest Group, the two-day event held at the Hilton Toronto Airport Hotel attracted Nigerians from across Canada. The theme of the town hall meeting, which was full to capacity, with an overflow focused on the theme Positive Impact of the Diaspora to the Growth and Development of Nigeria.
Today, because of your country not being productive, what you've been doing is providing social service to your people. It shouldn't be. You should be an investor.
He also shared his objectives for vying for Nigeria's presidency.
January 1 to April 30th this year, the federal government of Nigeria revenue is 1,630 billion. The expenditure is 4,720 billion. A deficit of 3.1 trillion. I know all this. That's what I'm going to solve. You stop the bleeding. I'm part of a movement to remove the establishment.
Mr. Obi answered questions on the minds of many Nigerians in the Q&A session. To close off his visit, he met with business leaders at a breakfast meeting where he had a heart-to-heart discussion on how to move Nigeria forward.
Foreign investor is like bee and honey. If you keep honey here, leave how the bees will come.
Mr. Obi spoke to AfroGlobal's Patricia Bebumawa about the reason for his visit with Nigerians in Canada and his plan for the future of Nigeria.
I'm right here with presidential aspirant for the Labour Party of Nigeria, Mr. Peter Obi. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm okay.
Yeah, and welcome to Toronto.
Thank you very much.
Why was it important for you to come and meet with Nigerians right here in Toronto?
Well, part of what I'm doing is like a movement trying to speak and go around and speak to Nigerians all over the world, especially the diaspora, to make them understand the need for us to come together as Nigerians, because we have no other country except that one, and be able to take the country back and ensure that it's governed like every other country in the world.
And there's something you said that was really interesting. You said you're not aspiring to lead Nigeria, but to make Nigeria the envy of the world. Tell us a little bit about what your intentions are and how you make Nigeria like the envy of the world.
Well, you can see what other countries are doing. There's nothing they're doing that is rocket science. All they're doing is good governance, ensuring that their country are well governed with unintangible assets of good governance, law and order, trying to create wealth for the citizen, pulling their people out of poverty, moving their country, making their country to be more productive so they can create jobs for the poor people and everything. That's all. That's what is happening even here in Canada.
Now, you're known for being very grassroots. Even when you were governor, there are a few things that you did that I think has spoken about you and your character. I want to know what made you to decide to be a different kind of politician.
What makes a leader is the character. It's number one. If you talk about competence, capacity, and commitment to do the right things. Because you're a leader, you must show example always. You must do things in the right way. And that's what we want to bring back to Nigeria, that things can be done in the right way. Nigeria is a country with all the potentials that you can imagine. It has huge land space, which is all cultivated today, which we must cultivate. Have huge population. The human capital is incredible. You need to develop that. That is the two most important things you require today. Countries are measured today not by natural resources, but the human capital, the ability, the productive assets of the citizens. And that's what we want to explore, to be able to turn Nigeria around.
Great. A lot of Nigerians do not have faith in the political leaders anymore because sometimes politicians come and they're great, they say nice things and they don't deliver. And I know some people have felt left out in certain facets of the society, and I even, suggesting that the country should separate. You actually have been trying to make people not think tribe, but think about the good of the country. What are you to say about the factions of society?
Every other country is like us. Every other country of the world. You have different religion, different ethnic groups, different people, multifaceted groupings all over the world. What makes it different and what brings them together is doing the right thing, good governance. I'm sure in Canada there's different people living in Canada all over the place, but they live in as one Canada because there's good governance. There's a level playing field that allows people's talent to match up their opportunity. And that's what you need to create in Nigeria. Nigeria is not different. So for me, it's not about religion, it's not about tribe, it's not about anything, it's about what I said before. Character, competence, capacity, and commitment. We can change the country, we can make it better. We have Nigeria, but we don't have Nigerians. I want to create Nigerians who will be proud to say, this is my country, and they have hope in it. And I can assure you, today we have brain drain, but those brain drain will be our assets of tomorrow, because they will bring the facilities and support that will turn around the country. They have to make their leaders to stay on the lane when they're elected. We want to change it. That's why I'm going around preaching so people can listen to me directly, not through proxy, and be able to assess me when I start.
Tonight, we are here with Peter Obi of the Labour Party of Nigeria, a presidential aspirant, having a town hall meeting here in Toronto, a full hall. This place is packed to the max, only standing room. And I want you to stay tuned because there'll be a lot of questions coming. We received him at the airport earlier this evening, and it's been a fantastic evening. This is Afro Global Television. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Coming up later.
His messages are resonating everywhere.
I'm here to see the next future president of Nigeria.
Every function in this Toronto, Canada, this is the highest function I've gone to see Nigerians come together.
Peter Obi is the change that Nigeria needs.
He's the real deal.
He's a leader ordained by God.
I am obedient to the bone.
His Worship Patrick Brown, Mayor of the City of Brampton, warmly welcomed Mr. Obi to Canada.
I just want to say welcome, and we love Nigeria.
Well, thank you, Brown. Let me stand on all due and existing protocols. Listen, I'm going to spend this night, I'm going to stay here as long as you want. It took me about 20 hours flying from Italy this morning to London to be here, and I assure you, like you, I'm here because it is very serious. When I look at all of you here, you don't know how I feel. Let us sit down and interact about our country and the pain we all feel for what is happening there. Because if Nigeria was what it should be, I assure you, 70% of you won't be here. And like I told somebody, like I said to somebody on the lift while we were coming down here, he said the hall is filled up. And he was worried about what is happening. I said, don't worry. That brain drain will eventually be a brain gain. Because it happened with China, happened with India, it happened with everybody. It is all those that left that went back and turn the place around. And that is why I'm looking for you. My dear people, I thank you for this sacrifice. I thank you for the honor and everything. The sacrifice we are paying is for our dear country. When you were singing this evening, the anthem, you said, let it not be in vain. Let this sacrifice not be in vain. The person who said the prayer said the same thing. And I do that every day. While I was in Germany, in Italy yesterday, the person was taking me around, said, you're saying too much prayers. What is that? I said, well, you have to always say to God, don't allow me to fail these people. Because if you do, you hurt yourself, you hurt God. We're here to interact. I'm not going to lecture you because you know everything that is going wrong in Nigeria. You know our system is not working the way it should work. And what do we want to do? People always ask me, what do you think you can do differently to make Nigeria work? And I said to them, is there anything they're doing differently in Canada? All they're doing differently is that they work 24 hours to show good governance. They work 24 hours to secure their country so that there is security of life and property. It is not difficult. They invest in that two intangible assets of making sure that there's good governance, there's security of life and property, there's law and order. So you don't get up and do whatever you like, because if you do like that, you answer to the law. That's what they do. There's nothing wrong in doing the same thing in Nigeria. I can tell you, God blessed us. He gave us everything. We have good weather, which they don't always have here. We have more land space. We have everything that is good. We have good food, good everything. The only thing we lack is one thing: leadership. And that is what we're clamoring and saying, we can't continue this way. We cannot. They've been able to allow ourselves, and when we do that, I blame all of us. I blame all of us. We have chosen to hire people without character, incompetent people, people who lack capacity. It's like going to say, I was in the plane coming here this today, and I had two lovely Nigerians doing very well from what they told me. Very, very well. And I asked one of them, where are you from? He said, it's the Yoruba. And I asked him a question. Do you know the pilot of this plane? They said, no. So why did we enter this plane when we don't know the pilot? I said, the only reason why we enter this plane when we don't know the pilot is because we believe that the pilot is qualified. So they have hired a qualified pilot to fly this plane. And I said, where are we going to? We are going to Toronto. Okay. And that's what they announced. And in that 7 hours plus, we didn't question, they still told us we are going to the same destination. I said, can you imagine if they suddenly tell us now they are going to Atlanta? What are we going to do? One of them said, then there will be problem. Okay. I said, these are the two things that are wrong with your country. You hired the wrong person. So this man is not qualified. Everybody knows a car driver, you make him the pilot. He can't fly plane because he doesn't know how to fly plane. And when he eventually have opportunity of entering there, he will tell you he's going somewhere else. And everybody keeps quiet. Peter Obi is here to tell you now what is going to happen in Nigeria. You're going to ask questions and he will answer how we're going to do A, B, C, D, F. In the end, when he's given the opportunity, he suddenly starts doing the opposite. And instead of saying, no, this is not what you said, everybody starts celebrating him, calling him all sorts of names, His Excellency, distinguished, all sorts of things that makes no meaning. You have run away from there. But even here with all your hard work, you don't have peace because you're thinking about the people there. Whatever you get, you take back to them. So if you make it work there, it will be a win-win for everybody. You win and they win. And the only thing that is lacking, remember what I said, is leadership. Nothing else. Nothing else. Anybody who tell you there's anything lacking, nothing. It's just leadership. Leadership that has made the country unproductive. No country lives like that. Today, every part of your country is insecure. Why? It will be so because you have hundreds of millions of people living in poverty that the government deliberately threw into poverty. Nobody can have, your country today have more people living in poverty than India and China combined. Both of them are 2.8 billion. And nobody cares. I want to listen to you. Maybe in the conclusion, I can do a 5 minutes talk, but let's spend time on people asking questions. I asked the organizers when they told me, we are going to go here for dinner, we are going to go there, we're going to say, please, I didn't leave Nigeria to come and eat here. I didn't leave it. Please. You know, I pleaded that we can have more time for me to learn, for you to listen. Just like I said before, and I told them, I said, I am not leaving this place until I'm sure it's worthwhile for you leaving whatever you're doing this evening to come out here. So I'm begging now. We are going to have 2 microphones and we will start. No rush. Don't worry, I'm here.
The first question is, our general concern is how Labour Party plan to hunts. Our concern is how Labour Party plan to protect their vote to count. From Amara. The second question Chief Dr. Nwanzidu Okoye, how North-East and North-South votes due to insecurity challenge in that area. The third question, thank you. The third question is, if elected in 2023, what will you do regarding diaspora voting, which is a major issue bordering on the minds of Nigerians in diaspora? The fourth question, Your Excellency, is on education. How will you replicate the Anambra education success across Nigeria, e.g. the 35,000 computer laptop to stock and teachers that led to various wins and success by Anambra students in many international competition? And the last, which is the fifth one on this section, is from Ike. Your Excellency, you have eloquently identified functional education, employment enabling environment, and functional infrastructure as panaceas to insecurity in Nigeria. However, the trend among Nigerian youths at home and in diaspora is to look for quick money. What is your plan to create a new national orientation, a paradigm shift that emphasizes handwork, creativity, innovation, and wealth creation?
The people who protect the vote. Those who vote will protect the vote. We will talk about this as we get closer to the election, but I'll tell you, the votes will be protected. Issue of Northeast. Somebody said about Northeast voting, not being able to vote because of insecurity. There's insecurity everywhere in Nigeria. I'm not here to tell you things that are pleasant. There is everywhere, and I'm sure everywhere will cast their votes. Those who are trying to rig or do the wrong thing, actually, like I always say to those established people, when people ask me, these are common things you hear, oh, Peter Obi has no structure. And I tell them very simple thing. My structure is the people of Nigeria. Those who have structure are the establishment. I'm part of a movement to remove the establishment. Movements don't have structure. The structure is the people. And it is the people that are going to vote. People in Northeast, they don't buy bread cheaper. Neither do they have a job. And I'm offering them a job. Northeast is very important to us. The biggest asset of the country is a vast uncultivated land. The war front in Northeast is Borno State. Borno State. That's where we have all the problems. But I can tell you, Borno State and Yobe, yes. But I want to talk about Borno State. I can talk about both of them, but for want of time, so that Borno State is occupying 70,900 square kilometers of land. That is about more than twice the size of Netherlands if you remove water, because the 43,000 remove 10,000, 33,000. That is 3 times the size of Israel. Israel is about 22,000 plus. Borno State is 70,900. They can't feed themselves. They cannot feed Nigeria. And they've turned into what you call a refugee camp. Netherlands, with all the bad weather, because I call this winter and everything snow and everything, call it the bad weather. You know, I've been in this Canada in snow years back. I couldn't believe it. Everybody was almost, without having issue of COVID, everybody was inside the house. So, with such weather in Netherlands, the agricultural export last year was over $120 billion. Imagine if Borno State can do 1% of that. 1%. It would have been $1.2 billion. If you use the rates of exchange today, about $650 naira to dollar, it will give you about 750 billion naira, which is about 5 times the budget of Borno State. But because we live in an unproductive country, Borno State is looking for money to share the money from oil. So this time, I'm going to tell the people there, please, it's for your future. For the future of your children, that you vote. Vote rightly. This short diaspora voting, 2023, either way the election goes, is the last time Nigeria will give excuse for diaspora. Diaspora must vote. In fact, their vote is far more important than those who are inside. Because like I said, you are a double victim. So you must vote first. It is critical, it's important. If Kenya diaspora can vote, what is wrong with Nigeria? The greatest investment any nation, any country can do, the greatest investment any nation can do is education. The more educated you are, the better your development and your economy. When I was governor, everybody comes to you and say, hey, look at the capital, Oka. Look at this. Peter, do you know you can do this? Peter, even the way place you live, the office, it doesn't look like governor's mansion. And I'll always look at them and say, listen, you cannot build physical infrastructure without building the human infrastructure. That's what drives the physical infrastructure. All these things you see in Canada here were built by human beings because they invested in education. The only thing that is making Canada work is education, is human capital. That is why they even come to Nigeria or anywhere to look. They didn't go to my village taking everybody. They are not looking for human beings. Are they? They are looking for qualified human being with something here. So what they are looking for has shown us that we need to invest in that. The greatest tragedy of Nigeria today is lack of education. All those criminals and all those people who are giving us problems in the north and all over the place are the human beings we did not educate yesterday. The people who did not invest in their education yesterday have become our problem today. We now have the highest number of out-of-school children, and that has been over the years. They are the ones who are living in the bush and are giving us problems. So education is a very critical thing. We'll invest in education. We will do so because I know the contribution of that to development. Besides, measure of development is only 3 things. HDI is only 3 things. Life expectancy, which is health, education, and per capita income, which is pulling people out of poverty. So we will invest in that. Issue of turning our youth from quick, I don't want to talk about functional education, said turn our youth from making quick money and looking for quick money. You know, I don't think our youth have a problem of that. I can tell you. I have served as the governor. And I have served as the governor of one of those states where, quote me anywhere, where you have a measure of Nigerian rascality. If the leaders show example, those youths will learn. If the leaders behave well, those youths will learn. And I said that we moved education in Anambra State, for example, from number 26, 27 to number 1. We did not change the teachers. None of them changed. It was the same teachers that we were teaching when we were 26, that we were teaching when we were number 1. We didn't. Nothing changed there. What changed? I said, this is number of secondary school we have. I don't want you to tell me about the secondary school. I'm going to visit all of them one after the other. And I went to 500 of them and called all the senior prefects, gave them my phone number and said, you must reach me because we're going to change this school. Tell me what your teachers are not doing. I didn't change the civil servants. But because I come to work by 7, they were there by 7. Because they know work has started. So, it is the same behavior. People didn't celebrate with me because I wasn't celebrating. You know, people come to me, nobody, in my 8 years of being governor, nobody will ever tell you he drank wine in government house. Nobody will ever tell you, no, I want you to, because I'm talking about bad behavior, nobody will ever tell you we had a party in government house. No. I have friends who drink, I have friends who party, but whenever they come to me, I tell them, the job I do now is different. I don't run a nightclub. You can go to nightclub, have party, and everything. What am I trying to say? It is our behavior that is making those boys, young people, behave the way they behave. It's very simple. It is us that are making them behave like that. We have to, as parents, leaders, behave rationally, behave responsibly, and celebrate. Again, we must celebrate what is right and stay away from what is wrong. But when we celebrate what is wrong, everybody is doing the wrong thing. All those young boys you see, you think are looking for quick money. Some of them even doing small things they call them a same talent that if you redirect, they change the world. And they can be directed by good behavior, by somebody who says is president or governor doing the right thing. So that's the 5 questions. We need to take another set of next 5.
Thank you, Excellency. This is from Louis Aneka. How confident are you about INEC's ability to conduct the 2023 election in a credible manner? This is from Lucky Igodaro. How are you likely to reforming the port and pulling back of customs from Nigerian roads to the borders. This is from Dr. Roland Etuka Ayorinde. Most professionals want to come back to Nigeria. Issue is about security. I'm a clergy and a chartered accountant. I need to come back to Nigeria and continue and contribute to production. Will you be able to honor your promise? This is from Sonta Jacob Sheriba. What will you have done differently? What would you have done differently with Abacha loot? And what can you do to stop the current looting? And the last one, from 5. This is from Professor Ede Ayowo. I pray that you win. When you win, which is very likely, how do you plan to meet the aspiration of Nigerians, considering the control of this legislative arm of government will be in the hands of the opposition party?
Those who are in charge of election in Nigeria will have no alternative than to do the right thing. When I ran for governor in Anambra State, it was like this. But eventually, they found out that they had no alternative. And I assure you, this will happen. On issue of ports and customs, somebody asked. Nigerian Ports Authority, which is supposed to be one of our great revenue generating agencies, is not doing or contributing up to 50% of what is expected from them. And also, issues we talk about customs. Customs live in the same society as political leaders live. As long as the political leaders live as corrupt as they are today, it will be difficult for other agencies to function. Somebody talked about professional coming back. The issue is security. I said before that the greatest intangible asset Nigeria needs to pursue now and aggressively is security. Let nobody tell you it is difficult to fight security in Nigeria. Yes, it looks difficult, but if government is determined to deal with it, they'll deal with it. Criminals cannot overrun a country. It's not possible. And I'll give you an example of what. In South America, all over South America, from Brazil to Mexico to Colombia, I want to give places that are near to you. They've gone through what we are going through today. They've been through it. One is that something you call natural security. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. Then you have to pull and government supporting people to come out of poverty is not as difficult as we make it look. It's been done everywhere in the world. Even the amount that is being mismanaged and stolen can do that. In terms of issue of facing the remaining, Nigeria is, in terms of all our security agencies, the number of personnel is low, they are unequipped for the job. I was in Egypt. Egypt is a country of 100 million, and they have over 1 million police. Nigeria is 200 million, and we have 320,000 police. And I can tell you, I don't know whether any of you listen to the governor of Katsina. He says that the number of police in Katsina is 5,000, the whole of Katsina. And that you go to a station, you see 30, and they have only 10 guns. So even out of the 320, one is that out of the 320, about 70,000 are following people around, which shouldn't be. Then the remaining 250, you now use the same ratio you use, you find out that only about 80,000 are armed. It won't work. We need to increase the number, and we need to immediately start state police. There's no reason why we should not have community policing. We want to secure the place. So what is the fear of not having police all over the place? We need multi-level policing. That's what happens in every society. Everybody coming home or anybody coming to invest, even if the profit is 200%, you have to be alive to enjoy your profit. You're not going to die, no? So we must secure the place. It is number one item. Issue of Abacha loot and corruption. Let me tell you about me and looking at the past. There are things that I say people don't like. If you say Peter Obi is the president tomorrow, don't think I'm going to spend my time looking at the back. Let me finish. I didn't say people at the back, nothing will happen to them. It's not my business. Those who are doing it can do it. But let me tell you, those who think about yesterday and today will miss tomorrow. God gave us eye for the front. Nigeria is too huge with too much talent to deal with the future. I've served as a governor. Anybody who tell you there's corruption, anywhere you see corruption, those in leadership are involved. If you, the leader, is not stealing, your family, your wife and children are not involved, those around you are not involved, you reduce it by 70%. And I've challenged everybody. And I'm challenging you. Go to Anambra State for the 8 years I was governor and show me what is missing there. It couldn't have been possible for Anambra State. In 8 years, we did not borrow money. We didn't borrow money from anybody. We paid whoever we were owing. And I say it, and all of you, it is in banks in Nigeria. You have contacts in all those banks. It would have been possible for me to leave office, leaving $150-something million and over 30 billion naira. You know, there are monies nobody said I should keep them. So if you're not stealing, and that goes with what I'm saying about cutting the cost of governance. The cost of governance in Nigeria is totally unacceptable. It is not possible. There's no way. If you wake up tomorrow morning and anybody sees the Prime Minister of Canada in 30-something vehicles on the road, I don't think he will remain the next day. Will he? That is the crisis we face. When I was governor, I faced the fact that people say, oh, you're the only governor without office of first lady. I'm very close to my wife. 2 of us live in the house and everything. But throughout the campaign, just like I'm going now, she never campaigned. Nobody voted for her. And suddenly, she appears from nowhere and being catered for government. These are the confusions we need to remove. Issue of National Assembly. You're talking about National Assembly. Let me tell you, National Assembly is not a problem. I governed Anambra State without having one member of House of Assembly from my party. Initially, it was a difficult one. When they realized where I was going, everybody, the society took over. I can assure you, National Assembly will not be a problem. When I put what I'm going to do for the people of Nigeria on the table, they will have no alternative than to follow it on Nigerians.
This question is from Yo-Yo Common Sense Sister. What is your policy for gender equality? Women having access to credit, more opportunities in political offices, and educating the girl child in Nigeria and its impact on the economy. This is from Buki Ojo. What will it take you to do restructuring, tribal segregation, and religion? This is from Igbo Union of Canada. How can you solve the problem of power sector differently from previous government? This is from Cynthia Okudili from POSN. With the surge in migration of healthcare professionals, how do you plan to create sustainability and reverse this trend? This is from Dr. Dave Wabo. How will you solve recurring ASUU strike issue when elected as president of Nigeria?
One of the greatest assets we've not utilized is investing in women. If you invest, men, I'm telling you, this is very serious. If you invest in women, I assure you, you're going to get better return than if you invest in men. Because why? Women will always care. Before I became governor, I was chairing one of the successful banks in Nigeria. My people I work with are here. Our treasurer was a woman. Our risk officer was a woman. Learning and leading is inseparable. As a leader, you don't know everything. If you see anybody that knows everything, he's an idiot. Don't go near him. So you must listen. As governor, my chief of staff was a woman. The pansec in my office, woman. Head of service, woman. Commissioner for Finance, Commissioner for Education, it's just not any of you who have known me closely or watched what I did will tell you that it wouldn't have been possible without people like Mrs. Wandu, Stella Okunna, and this. When we talk about gender equality, we should actually invest in women and give them the responsibility. I think even the Nigeria have had enough of men. Now we probably need a woman to solve the problem. Single-handedly, Ngozi Iweala was begging and crying to all of us as governors. To what we are going today, she saw it coming. She was crying. Go and read her book, Fighting Corruption is Dangerous. She was begging us when we had over 20 billion naira in sovereign wealth fund, in excess good account. He said, allow me to save this money and I'll be able to build up to 50 billion in that account, and we have a reserve of 50 billion. The country will be stabilized. The governors refused. All of us refused. All of us. But I must say, the book is very clear, page 61. It was very clear. He said, Governor Obi, who supported saving, was not supported by his colleagues. Every country in the world saves. Every human being saves for the future, except Nigeria. Issue of restructuring. Well, somebody asked about restructuring. I just talked about state police. One of the greatest and the most important things about restructuring is security. I believe in it. We must lay the foundation that is proper for our enduring federal system of government, and that is restructuring the country to make it more competitive. Federal government has nothing to do with education. It's waste of everybody's time. All these have cut-off points, have this and this. No. You're wasting everybody's time. If these people want to go to school, they go to school. If these people don't want to go to school, it's their business. We must deal with all those issues and make the country more competitive. Power sector. Let me tell you, power sector is one place that I look at and I tell you there's something wrong with Nigeria. Nigeria generates and distributes about 4,000 megawatts of electricity. This has happened over a period of 20 years. And all you hear is one story or the other. Nigeria is the biggest country in Africa. It's the most populous country in Africa. 200 million people, and they generate 4,000 megawatts of electricity. The second biggest country is South Africa. There are 60 million, and they generate about 50,000 megawatts. And what will shock you, just 3 weeks ago, the president of South Africa declared emergency in power and said anybody or company can generate 100 megawatts without license. So somebody who is 60 million, generate 50,000, declared emergency, but somebody with 4,000 is still keeping quiet. That shows there's something wrong. you follow me, I was in Egypt. Three countries in the world have done the fastest deployment of power. India, Vietnam, Egypt. Between 2015 and 2020, these countries I mentioned doubled their power generation, distribution, transmission and distribution. So I went to Egypt. Egypt was doing under 20,000. Today, they are doing over 50,000. And what did they do? Simple thing. I went to the power plant, studied the power plant, went to those who constructed it, sat down with them, finished, went to government to know what they did. And when they finished, went to the financiers in Europe. What they did was a very simple thing. They didn't even put money. They gave a sovereign guarantee to the company, and the company went to borrow the money. I said, what is wrong? All these things, I could not see the link. I went back to the company and said, why didn't you do this in Nigeria? Why? Tell me. Because you're also in Nigeria. You know what they told me? They said, wait, when you come into power, we'll tell you why we didn't do it. The reason why they didn't do it is why? Because of the way things work in Nigeria. Let me assure you, you don't know the importance of power. In a developing country, for every 1,000, this is a suggestion, and it's been followed up, for every 1,000 megawatts of electricity you add in your system, you could almost be increasing your GDP by between 0.5% to 1%. That shows that Nigeria today can decide to move from 4,000 to 20,000, over 15,000, which is achievable in 4 years. Look at what they're going to add to their GDP. It's like education. The more you invest in human capital, for every $1 you put in human capital, you create wealth of almost $10. So imagine if you follow these two aggressively, power and human capital, what you're going to achieve. It will be phenomenal. And that's what your country used to have. That's why in 1980, when things were good in Nigeria, your per capita was 2,000 plus. Today, 40 years after, is below 2,000. Because all you've done is I wasted several years doing nothing. So be rest assured. The next question is the issue of the issue of migration within the health sector. Let me tell you, again, I said these things can be reversed. But not even worrying about reversing it, I have an idea. I said it will be reversed. Most of you will be the investors we will use to turn around Nigeria. Let me tell you what happened. Today, because of your country not being productive, what you've been doing is providing social service to your people. You become their social safety net. It shouldn't be. You should be an investor who will invest your resources at home that will be productive, give you more money, and feed those people. Not the way it's happening today, where whenever you have phone call, you're scared whether to take it or not, because it's all bad news. No. We want to turn that bad news into good news. Now that thing you invested is yielding money. Everything you're hearing today about China and India is what I'm telling you. It was the diaspora Indians and this that went back and turned around the place. It was a win-win. They became rich people. The people in their place were fed. Everybody is happy. Not the other way around. Some of you, what is carrying you going home is not just security. Even the problems that people will come around with. So you better stay away from them. So it is important that on issue of migration, but the health workers, last year I made a very serious issue with government, and I said, by the year 2030, the world will be looking, there will be shortage of 10 to 20 million nurses and midwives globally. Nigeria as a country should invest in that. There's no reason why we should not prepare to export that to the world because we have the population. Today, Philippines is making for diaspora funding over $50 billion. Even Egypt is getting more than us. Ours is going down because, like I said, all you do now is send money for people to eat, not to produce anything. It cannot continue like that. Your money must work for you because you work here to earn the money. So that health workers, we will train more. Some will serve at home. Some will go outside, make more money. It's a win-win. ASUU strike is unfortunate. You might not know that the global intake, the average global intake for higher tertiary education is at 8%. That's the global average. In the Western world, like your country, where you are today, is over 50%. Nigeria is 9%. Not even up to a quarter of the global intake, and on strike. Today, Nigeria is funding education in our neighboring countries like Ghana and everything. It is worrisome. And government is not doing anything. For me, you said, how will I solve it? There's a combination. This is time to sit down and have a combination of government saying what they will contribute, a combination of students' loan, a combination of the university doing other consultancy and research to make money. It is important to look at the whole thing, how we are going to fund education. But that the universities are not working on strike for 6 months, and we are campaigning, or even talking about 2023, is unbelievable. I have had ASUU strike as governor, lasted for months, but we are talking every day. I do not think where we are today is acceptable. And I assure you, issue of education, I've said it before, will be so serious that it will not happen. There's a combination of what we can do to ensure, of course, take it that basic education is free, and we will fund it. To higher education, we will fund with a combination of loan, consultancy, and government projecting what they will do.
This is from Dr. Carl Iyari. a chemical engineer and business executive. How will you reinvigorate the refining sector and establish world-class value-added downstream chemical infrastructure to employ 1 million Nigerians and double our GDP?
Yeah.
This is from Ajuruchi Ogbonna. How do you intend to scrap the federal character system and install merit-driven nation? Use executive order, my suggestion. This is from Tunji Adelowo. What is your plan to restore the value of Naira? What is your plan to douse the agitation of the groups that want to break away? This is from Johnson. How will you reduce the cost of governance? How do you make sure that people don't turn your campaign money for personal use?
Nigeria have 3 refineries. 3 refineries. Those 3 refineries, they have workers. They are paid salary. They are promoted. And as long as I know, in the past 10 years, they've never refined one. And people are happy to be working in those companies. There's nothing in refinery. That is what I'm talking about, your money working. We have enough talent and enough people that can invest and refine crude in Nigeria. Use the crude God gave us that is in my backyard, refine it, make it work, reduce the money Nigeria is paying in subsidy, reduce everything that is happening there. But because it is a criminal gang up, and that is the structure. That is the structure we want to stop. When you hear structure, that structure is the gang up that is holding Nigeria. That's what they're celebrating. Today, 80% of our oil is stolen. 80%. Oil is not something, it's not sweet. You go to grocery store and steal. For you to steal oil, a vessel has to come into Nigeria. It will be approved by Navy before it comes in. So it's a criminal gang up. And that is what we need to stop. Let nobody make refinery look as if it's going to the moon. It's something that is doable here and can be done overnight. Somebody asked, how are you going to deal with the issue of scrapping federal character? There's nothing wrong with federal character. What is wrong is making sure that you select from every side competent people. If you live in a country where people, let me tell you, in Nigeria, from my experience of being in government, people don't do what is expected. That is my experience. I don't know that was my experience as governor. People don't do what is expected. They do what is inspected. So I follow them, do this thing, which I've paid you, because they will not do it if I leave them. That is federal character. So we have value of Naira. There's nothing wrong with value of Naira. It's a question of production. Simple. If you want your currency to be high, to be worthwhile, you produce and export. It's nothing. Nigeria is a country of 200 million living on a land size of 923,000 square kilometers. 200 million people living on a land size of 923,000 square kilometers. Our total export last year was 18 trillion 900 billion, which if you use the official rate, it gives you about $47 billion. If you use my own rate, which is the official rate, but that's the one you can get, 650, it gives you about $30 billion. For a country of 200 million people, Vietnam, which I want to use the example of this one, is a country of 100 million, living on a land size of 331,000 square kilometers. Total export last year was $312 billion. So we couldn't do 10% of what Vietnam is doing. They live on 1/3 of our land, and they have half of our population. Vietnam did not export oil. We exported oil. Vietnam exported manufactured goods. One, electronics and coal, $60 billion. Clothing, $32 billion. Footwear, $20 billion. Tell me, what are we doing? These are things you can do in Amba. These are things you can do in Lagos. We have a vast land, all cultivated in the north. We are all busy sharing oil money. Your neighbor here, United States, the oil is everything. Texas is not #1 economy in America. It's not #2. It's not #3. That's where the oil is. They're #4. The #1 is California. That is #1 with a 3.3 trillion economy, 8 times Nigerian GDP. What do? Agriculture knowledge. We have vast land in the north, all cultivated. Your value of your currency will not work. You need to cultivate something and export. And it is very easy. That's what will change the value. Productivity. The more you produce and everything. I went to a state, Taraba State, and they were complaining. Taraba State is a lovely place where you can grow coffee, tea, and flour. Because there is a Mambila Falls and huge land, 54.6 thousand square kilometers of land. Kenya did flour export last year, over $500 million. Ethiopia, coffee, 1.1 billion last year. Sierra Leone with all their problems, 1.4 billion worth of coffee, of tea. But Taraba is looking to share money for this. That is the value of your naira. We will fight it with exports. And we have what it takes to export goods. What we don't have is to have leaders who will drive this process. And it is achievable. Agitation. Well, everywhere you go in Nigeria, there's agitation. The question to ask is, how come everybody wants to go away? What you're doing here is agitation. You're here because it's not working. That's why you left. That's agitation. And that's what those people are doing. We will deal with it. We will consult everybody that is agitating. We will consult, we'll talk with the person, we will plead with them, we will beg them, and I assure you, we will make it work. We will stop it. The more you have, there's no place where agitation was more like in South America. But the more they pull people out of poverty, the more people have means of livelihood, they reduce the agitation. It's the same thing with criminality. Cost of governance. I've said it before. Cost of governance in Nigeria is unacceptable and can be reversed. I don't need to tell you, but you can go and ask my record as governor of Anambra State. But you can put it that I said it this night in Canada. No elite in Anambra State while I was governor was happy with me. Not one of them. There might be 1% or 2%, but the rest were happy. And I get that everywhere I go. Even when I go to Abuja and everything, I get confronted by ministers, by presidents, by everybody, telling you, Peter, nobody is happy with you. All throughout this night now, have I ever talked about happiness? None of you will be happy with me when I start. The only thing I can tell you is that we are going to fix the place, but I'm not promising happiness. Those who have a job of making people happy are the people in the entertainment industry. When Flavor and Co come here, you'll be happy. But me, no happiness. People ask you, Peter, you are the only governor without office of First Lady. How can you have an office for somebody that nobody voted for? Somebody who never campaigned, somebody who has no reason to be there. But I can tell you, I say it every day, I remain very, very close with my family. They're the closest people I have and everything. But not office of First Lady. We're happy that I'm doing the work. So, cutting cost of governance is very, very important. There's no place where one person uses 20 or 30 vehicles. I saw it in my state. We tried it. It was the cost that made us to stop it. Only 1 or 2 was functional car. The rest were just people. So cutting costs, be rest assured I'm going to deal with it. I even dealt with it today. When a group of people came to meet me, my friends came to meet me at the airport today. They asked me a question. You came alone. I said, well, you invited me alone. So if it's only me going to talk, what would the next person be doing? These are my brothers and sisters here. Why should I bring another one from there?
As a good leader, how can you groom, mentor young generation to have the same political and economic leadership mindset like you? And this is from here. From AK Obi, when made the president of Nigeria, will you restructure the security architecture of Nigeria? From about restructuring our 1999 Constitution, what plans do you have to fix it? What plans do you have to ensure institutions like the judiciary are independent. This is from Priye Obazua. What is the plan to expand material and child care across Nigeria? Maternal and child care across Nigeria. This is from Oshoke Obozua. What is the plan for the campaign to expand to the illiterate population grassroots? Those are your 5 questions, Your Excellency.
Well, most of them, I won't say, we don't have 5 questions there. We have maybe about 2 because I've answered most of them. Let me start with the issue of campaign. The campaign is you. You are sending money to people. Start with yourself by telling those people you are sending money to eat that they now have to feed themselves. And the way to feed themselves is to have the right leader so they can start being productive. Because you cannot continue to create a welfare society that is unproductive. Let nobody come to you and say, hey, in my own place, I do it today. I go to the village and a young man comes to me and say, hey, well, I won't give you anything because you're not doing anything. You're related to me, forget it. Nobody has given me money by relation. And I didn't make money by relation, and I won't give it to you because you're related to me. Because that's not what it's meant for. So you can help in the campaign by letting those you're supporting to know they have to do the right thing. On issue of maternal care and everything, it's one of those places where we have a problem. Because people don't know what we're going through. Nigeria was supposed to, that is the thinking of the UN when they were looking at it, that Nigeria was going to overtake India in maternal problem by the year 2025. Today, we've overtaken India in 2021. 4 years ahead of schedule. India is 1.4 billion, and we are 200 million. So we are 1/7 of India, yet our maternal death is sad than that of India. Very sad. So dealing with those things are not anything. That's why I said we must focus on the proper development indices. We will deal with it aggressively. Issue of healthcare, education, and pulling people out of poverty. All those things will follow religiously. And I assure you, you will see it happen. I've done it in a state where, when I started, there was no single accredited school of nursing or midwifery or health technology, and within 8 years we built 10. And they are there. You can go and. So anybody who says, I did this, tell him to tell us where he is, which school did he go to, what is his age, what is this, so we can verify all those things. Issue of judiciary. Issue of judiciary is very simple. If the leader is not corrupt, I keep saying it, everybody will go within the line. Nobody in Nigeria has benefited politically in the judiciary more than me. I won an election, somebody else was pronounced. I stayed in court for 3 years. Everybody thought it was impossible. And I won the case. And you're right. I didn't give them anything. I said it in the NBA. I didn't give them any money. They were even being asked by the governor, and I insist.
Can we please, this is the oldest Nigerian known in the entire Canada. That's Abate. Please, can we just give him a round of applause? Abate is 102 years. He said he must come see His Excellency Peter Obi. He isn't feeling too strong, but he insisted that he must leave his house, even though he was advised not to.
You see every reason why this our project must not fail. You could see the pain and the sacrifice of people like this. For him alone, it will be an abomination for anybody to fail the country. Judiciary is not as bad as people think. We don't have a bad judiciary. We have sophisticated, intelligent people in judiciary. All we need is to encourage them. When I was governor, our magistrates don't have car. How can you ask somebody who is giving judgment that can even condemn somebody to death not to have a car? Some of them are owed their salary. You can't do that. So you have to pay them. You have to do the right things. And these things are happening when the leaders are busy dancing and drinking and wasting everybody's time. So judiciary is not our problem. Issue of security, I've said it, we don't have any problem with security. Grooming the ones that will follow you or being mentoring the other ones. Let me assure you, there's nothing there. If you do the right things, people will learn. I'm only here speaking to you because I know you can contribute in this change. Otherwise, I won't come here. But I know that these people here can change Nigeria. Societies are not changed. Societies are not changed by millions of the people. Because millions of people are changed by a tiny group of people. And that is why I'm looking for diasporans. No other candidate is doing what I'm doing. Because I know that that place, the change won't come from there. Change always comes from external. Because they can see the rot in and they fix it. So it is people here that I need to work with me to bring change. And they can hold somebody responsible. They can stop. When you're talking about good governance, cutting cost of governance, you are the people that can make it happen. Because you can tell anybody who is the leader in Nigeria, you're wrong. He's not paying your bill. You don't need to see me here. I'm not giving any of you money. So you can tell me anything you want to tell me. And that's what I'm encouraging our people to do. Rather than what I recall when I was governor, when I was this thing, I went to America. And our people were busy showing me where people bought houses. I said, you can't do that. With whose money are we going to use to buy that house? I don't live in Canada. I don't intend to leave. I made up my mind when I left the UK that I'm going to Nigeria to go and die. That's where I want to. I'm not talking about my children. I told them, make up your mind where you want to live. But we will go and change that place. And I'm committed to it. So for me, anybody who thinks, oh, there's a magic I can do and I'll come here and buy a house. No. Let Canadians, and those of you who live here, buy a house here. Because it's good that you live well here. Those of us from Nigeria, don't encourage them to come here. Once he's a government person, if he didn't buy it before he gets into government, don't allow him to buy it. If he comes there to buy it, call police. That's how we will encourage and stop corruption. So that's the final one. We will groom them by doing the right thing.
From ASUU Kenneth Akbosi, and the question is, when you become president of our great nation Nigeria, are you open to confederation? This is from Clement Wegman. What guarantees will the diasporans have that if they bring their investment and business to Nigeria, they will operate in a secure and safe environment? As governor of Anambra, you ruled a mono-ethnic state. How can you rule a multi-ethnic country like Nigeria and involve all ethnic nationality? This is from Bongsi from Taraba State. Then this is from the streaming from the YouTube. Why have you not appointed a spokesman or a spokeswoman? And this is from Robert Tofa. And another one from YouTube says, if you become the president, how are you going to build a lot of hospitals in Abuja and Lagos? Are you also going to fight for free health care in Nigeria as well? And this is from Nike.
Health is important everywhere. We will fund health because health is wealth. We will fund it with a combination of ensuring that people are productive, paying taxes, which we will use to fund health, and also a combination of health insurance. That's what happens everywhere. But it's not government that is owning everything. It's a combination of government and private. And that is where you come in. Let me give you an example, showing you one that worked. I was in Atlanta, and I read about a Nigerian doctor that is doing heart surgery. He's one of those best Nigerian doctors the doctors that are doing heart surgery while the heart is pumping or something like that. And when I read, I didn't know who the person was. But I read about him, and I called him, and I said, who are you? He told me where he came from. He happened to have come from Anambra State. And I said, Dr. John Willow, can I ask for a favor? If I go to your village and build a health center, can you come there and be doing surgery that you're doing in America? He told me, if you can build it, I'll do it for free. I'll be coming twice a year. And I asked him, can you do the design of the hospital? And he did everything and told me it's going to cost about 250, 300 million naira then. And I wrote the check and gave it to a hospital in their village owned by the church. I said, this is the check. We must build a health center here where this man has promised he will bring the equipment and it's coming there. Go and ask everybody now about the new health center in St. Joseph Hospital in Adasi. It's unbelievable. You sure you know about it? So, you can do it. We deal with issue of health, I can assure you. On issue of spokesperson, Labour Party have a spokesperson. Peter Obi campaign has spokesperson. For now, we want to hear the candidate. We don't want to hear the spokesperson. We are not voting for the spokesperson. We want to hear the man we are going to vote. Let him come here and answer questions. It is this process that has been confusing us. So when the man goes into office, I've traveled to several countries, finding out what is going to happen. You know why? Nigeria is the only place you vote somebody, he'll start telling you what you saw when you got in there. What were you seeing when you were campaigning? So this is the time to see everything. So when you go, you start to walk. Now when you go there, that's what they're telling us now. What we saw when we get there, we didn't hire. If the company was good, would you hire a new managing director? No. You are hired because it wasn't going well. And you now came and started telling us about what you saw. When you go for interview, you are supposed to know what the problem is. I know the problem of Nigeria. I was telling somebody today in the plane. He said, let me tell you, where are you going to get the revenue? He said, Peter, January 1 to April 30th this year, the federal government of Nigeria revenue is 1,630 billion. The expenditure is 4,720 billion. A deficit of 3.1 trillion. He said to me, he asked me, Peter, how are you going to cope? I said, I know all this. That's what I'm going to solve. You stop the bleeding. That's why you stop the stealing. I know all this. There's nothing we can do. He said, so what is going to do? I said, we will cut cost of governance. We will borrow money. But the first law that we're going to have when I start is that all borrowed money is for investment, not for consumption. If you want consumption, you produce it. Just like I said, soon, diasporans will send money for investment, not for consumption. You know, they are not funeral directors. So they cannot continue to send money for burial and ceremony. It must be for investment. So that I can start using money. We are not against you supporting your people. You must do it. But they too have to produce something. To help what you're doing here is a win-win for everybody. I think that's issue of multi-ethnic society. You live in Canada. Canada is the multi-ethnic. Why is he working? He's working because of good governance And everybody knows that here, people's talent and hard work match up their opportunity. Once you create a level playing field, issue of anything goes. Because if you work hard and you're too intelligent and everything, you make money. All those people we are calling in America, the problem in Nigeria is that you see somebody without a daytime job, no office, no nothing, living like a star. When those who are working hard cannot eat. That's what we want to reverse. We will change it. All these things will kill multi-ethnic society.
My name is George Chukwuda, Afro Global Television. We promise to bring you whatever is trending around the city and around the world. Tonight, we are here in Toronto to receive a Labour Party aspirant, Governor Peter Obi, who is here to do a town hall meeting with the Torontonians and all the people around Canada. It's been a wonderful night. A whole lot of people came. It's a full hall. And I'm going to be interviewing a few people to get their take on Governor Peter Obi and what he has told them. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. What's your take about this man, Governor Peter Obi, and seeking to be the next president of Nigeria in 2023?
Thank you very much. My name is Uzoma Wanchuku and fully obedient. Peter Obi, as we all know, is our presidential flag bearer. And to me, it's a movement. It's not about really much of politics, but it's a movement, and the youths are keen into his message. His message is very transparent and very factual. He tells you to go verify. So I think he's a different kind of politicians that we have right now, and then his messages are resonating everywhere.
All across the ages, both the young and the old, everybody is excited about Peter Obi running for president. I have a young star here. Would you please tell us your name?
My name is Malachi.
Malachi, why are you here tonight?
I'm here to see the next future president of Nigeria.
And what's his name?
Peter Obi.
Peter Obi. Are you excited to be here tonight to hear him?
Yes.
So you believe that this man is the one that will create the future that you would like for Nigeria?
Yes.
Are you excited tonight?
Yes.
But it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
How excited are you about the turnout tonight?
Oh, it's very impressive. In fact, Nigerians come out in their large numbers. Yes. When I got here today, I never expected to see this kind of crowd. Since every function in this Toronto, Canada, this is the highest function I've gone to see Nigerians come together to celebrate one of their own, whom they believe will make Nigeria a better place for all of us.
Well, I want to thank you so much. And Madam, can I hear from you? How excited are you about this event?
I am really excited. Really, I'm not a politician, but I'm excited, to see this crowd, So that means every one of us, we're in support of what our brother Peter Obi is doing, and we want a change. We want a change in our country. So we believe that Peter Obi, our brother, is going to make that change.
The crowd that is here are not Igbos only. There is a mixed crowd from all parts of Nigeria. Even some foreigners are here. How exciting is that to you?
Peter Obi has a unique leadership quality. Whenever you see a good leader, people always move towards that person, because what does the leader do? They solve problems. People here have challenges. He saw a huge crowd here, Igbos, Yorubas, even Hausas. Everybody is here. People have pain that Obi can solve. That's why they're here.
I'm not the only one. A lot of people believe that Peter Obi is the change that Nigeria needs. Actually, it's the change that Africa needs, because when Nigeria is okay, Africa will be okay, because Nigeria is the heart of Africa. So we are here, leaders, women, people that see the vision that he has and support the vision that he has, knows that he can repair and stop the bleeding. So each and every one of us who can be comfortably happy over here and also know that our loved ones back home are also safe and happy.
Just give me a little bit of your experience tonight from all the questions and the answers.
I think tonight's meeting actually clarify everything about this man. The vision is quite clear. It's visible to the blind and audible to the deaf.
I can see that you have this T-shirt here that says "I am obedient." Are you an obedient?
I am obedient.
Okay. Tell me, what do you think about tonight's town hall meeting with Governor Peter Obi?
Oh, well, Peter Obi spoke well, and he really delivered well what we expected. And there's nothing actually new. It's just I really want to see him in person, and we're happy that we're with him today. You know, he really satisfies us, like he's going to give us the time to really talk, and he's not in a hurry to leave us. So we're happy he's here. We're here to support him.
So tell me something. After tonight's town hall meeting, are you going to start calling Nigerians, your relatives in Nigeria, to make sure that they also become obedient?
Absolutely. I'm going to call them to be obedient, because this is a leader that we've never seen before.
I do not believe that we have a better candidate for the position of the president of Nigeria than Peter Obi. I believe in his competence, I believe in his antecedents, and I believe that he has vision for our country. I'm not talking just about facial value vision, I'm talking about genuine vision from the bottom of his heart. And he has a very good intention for our nation. He has plans for the youth, he has plans for those who are coming into existence. There are future ambitions in place. There are things that he has in place for Nigerians. Even those of us in diaspora, he has plans for every one of us. He has plans for the elderly, he has plans for the junior ones, he has plans for the seniors, he has plans for everybody. He has a very good, credible answer for every question that is asked.
He's the real deal. Peter Obi has the answers to everything happening in Nigeria. Let's give him the support. He will keep the ball rolling. He's not promising that he doesn't have the magic wand to just turn things around. We know how messy things have been because this present administration, I must say, has really taken Nigeria back approximately 20 years as far as I'm concerned. He's coming in to just set the ball rolling and make sure that others coming after him will have something to really work on.
No. Come on, girl. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
We need somebody that we can talk to like this. He's free. He understands the people of Nigeria. So, of course, definitely, I'm already telling my family back home that that's the only moving train and they have to be part of it if they're already not part of it.
So what we need in the country is leadership. That's all that it takes. And quite often, it's so unfortunate, even when he mentioned that we left Nigeria to come here, living in Canada because of the problems we have. All the key problems, all the key factors that every developing nation has, he mentioned it, and that's the solution. So, but the only thing that we have to pray for him, we need leaders like this and people who will work with him to be able to take Nigeria to the next level.
Beautiful, well said. And what about you, madam? What do you think, Lola, about this man and all the questions and answers in the town hall meeting?
I feel so hopeful, like my husband said. He's so hopeful. It's like I have hope again in Nigeria. So hopefully he will win. We're sure of that, by God's grace. And things gonna be better. And for us here, hopefully when things are better, like he said, 70% of us will go back home and build Nigeria. So I'm so hopeful. I'm glad for him.
Whenever he says something and some people will say verified. What does it mean? Is it that they believe him or that everything that he has been talking about has been verified, proven and stated?
Okay, I think that verified is a pass mark. That means tested and trusted. That means we're good to go. We accept this and we're good with it. So.
All right, MC Morris, it's good to have you here, brother.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, much love. So far tonight, would you consider yourself a concretized, obedient Priya?
I am obedient to the bone, to the core. I put in a lot of effort into promoting his candidacy. I have a very, very big support group that is working in Canada for him. And at the same time, I participate in online events like a debate and all, just to promote his candidacy. I believe that this is the time for Nigeria to actually have its turnaround. So I believe in Peter Obi. I am very obedient to the core.
He's a leader ordained by God, and by his grace, come 2023, he will be sworn in as next Nigerian president.
As a youth in our community, being here in Canada, what hope do you have after listening to him if he wins? Do you think he'll be the one, the one that will turn Nigeria around to give you guys a better foundation in Nigeria to even go back after education?
Yes, I believe, like I was telling some people, in America, in Canada, we have presidents, they give daily briefings, They're in touch with their people. This is something that is really missing in Nigeria. In Obi's administration, the number one thing I'm really sure of is hope. I believe Obi will be very close to us. Obi will be giving us briefing daily or weekly. So first of all, we'll have a president we can be in touch with.
Hello, my name is Mike Okaka. I live in Michigan now. I was the first Diaspora essay to Governor Peter Obi in his first year in office. We're here to give the movement a support that it deserves. I want to be part of this good thing that is happening to Nigeria and the world over.
So you know Peter Obi very well since you have worked with him. What would the hope that people are having and having worked with him, what would you say about all the promises that he's making?
I would say and advise Nigerians to let's take advantage of this man. People like him come once in a lifetime. He's a man who is proposed and set forth to do good things for humanity. He's a very selfless person. He's not given to, aggrandizement, and he has no greed appetite, no appetite for greed. His appetite is for work and progress. So I appeal to all Nigerians to take advantage of this man and give him this position, because he's coming to help and not to waste our resources. He's going to conserve our resources and make life better, put Nigeria on a right trajectory. He might not be able to solve all the problems, but he will put the country on a trajectory to self and good governance.
Hello everyone, my name is Idris Urugu. I'm currently a candidate for Regional Councillor, Wards 1 and 5 in Brampton.
Tell me, I know you have worked with the Peel School region and all those things, and you're running for the council right now. Tonight, how excited are you about listening to Peter Obi and the vision that he has for Nigeria?
As a matter of fact, I think I was very impressed. I wouldn't say I didn't know much about Peter. I've heard and read quite a bit about him. His message was very hopeful, and I will hope that Nigerians can take comfort in the fact that there's somebody that's thinking about the future and how to develop our homeland, so that those of us out in diaspora will be able to go home without fear of the fact that you can be harmed, without fear of the fact that you can't have the basic necessities that one needs to be able to function. So it is hopeful.
He expatiated that if things were okay, that some of us, 70% of us that are here, that we will not be here, we will be back home, because there is structure, things are done in a proper way as a country.